October 28th, 2014's weekly wrap-up, what they call Black Friday. So if you're out there shopping away, spending the money, have fun. And hope you're not too full from the Thanksgiving dinner yesterday, all of that weekend holiday. So what happened this week? I'm doing the news. That's what's happened. I, just like all the rest of us here in America, things sort of slow down this week because things speed up in family and you have so much to do. I'm working on all kinds of projects. You're going to be seeing, in fact, next week, I might even, well, we'll see. I might release more than one release next week because I have so much going on. I've got some fly on the wall videos to come up. I've got Tony Lindsay videos for his packet to come up. I've got some Nate Pruitt stuff to come up. There's just so much going on, and I'm working on all of the clips, and they're going to be showing up. So you'll be seeing all kinds of things next week. This week, you're going to get the news. You're getting it right now. And I'll do the musical tip, and we'll all have a fun Black Friday. You know, before I do the general music tip, I'm going to talk to everybody that's on the, that has access on the site. I'm always trying to tell YouTube people about all of the things that we have over here, like the Listen and Recognize course, the ear training course. And, I'm going to ask you, those of you that are on the site, are you jumping around and getting into all of these different courses? No doubt you're working on the beginning, intermediate, advanced voice courses and the free voice course that you got in the beginning. I would expect you to do that. And but are you really taking advantage of the site? And what I mean by that is putting together yourself a little schedule. Are you working on the Listen and Recognize material? That starts right at the very beginning. 2 notes, C to D, and then C, D, E, and then C, D, E, F, and so forth and so forth. And then finally, all of the flats and sharp notes. And then after that, recognizing how to hear the notes moving within a scale, and then through all 12 keys of those scales, and it just builds and builds and builds. And it starts so simple and it progresses so slowly that if you just would grab a clip, 1 or 2 clips a week, listen to that on your separately from when you're vocalizing, it just will build a skill inside of you that's so important. And I can tell you, I did the course, so obviously I've done that type of work before. And I really see the value in it. And I don't know who sees the value in that and who doesn't see the value in that. As in everything that I'm putting on the website, the fun thing about this is that you have access to all of this information and material, and you can jump around and do whatever you want whenever you feel like doing it. Anyway, I'm just sort of pointing out the fact that Listen and Recognize course is there inside the site, and it starts so basic and it moves up. And the reason why I'm saying this to you is my private students that I have in my studio, every now and then I'll get somebody who comes in who recently I have this fantastic singer. She has an incredible voice. She's got power. She's got everything. She's got theatrics. She's got great presentation on stage, all of it. But in honesty, at times when she first started with me, pitch problems. She'll be singing fantastically, the voice sounds great, and then bang, man, she'll float off and not stay on pitch. So I put her into this Listen and Recognize program, and as she's progressing through this now, I've got all of the elements that I'm looking for. See, when I'm working with a student, I'm always thinking about building a singer in various ways, meaning developing their pitch, developing their interval sense, developing their ability to expand their range and keep quality in their voice, improve the quality of their voice, improve the strength and the power of their voice, start to teach them about how to be improvisational with their voice in various different styles. All of these things put together make a great singer. But every once in a while you get somebody who comes in who's got a lot of those elements together, but has a hard time staying in tune. And there's different reasons for not being in tune. One reason for not singing in tune is when you are singing through your bridges, which I'm always talking about, you're not making the transitions correctly. And that is a very common way that people will sing out of tune. They'll be singing in their chest voice, move on up, supposed to be moving into their mix by allowing their chords to thin out and changing the air pressure, but they don't. And when they don't, as they continue up higher, they quit singing in tune. It's like a chunk of their range goes away, and they're singing maybe kind of in their mix, but they're not doing it right, and so they'll sing out of tune. Or they'll just try to sing in chest and sing 3 or 4 notes that are the same note right at one spot. Lots of times when both teachers and other people hear that, they think that this person has a really bad ear, that they don't have the ability to hear the notes. That's not what's going on at all. What's going on is they're not making a physical adjustment correctly. But sometimes it works the other way around. You get somebody who's making those physical adjustments and they're singing through their bridges and their breaks, and they're learning that, and they're getting range, and their tone is improving. Yet, when they go to sing a melody line in a song and they're singing to the chord changes, they get lost. That's a lack of understanding how chord changes and how your voice and how the melody line is fitting into those chord changes. If you could really hear what's going on with the chord changes, it's way easier to keep yourself in tune again because you have a reference point. Again, that's why ear training is so important, because ear training starts to give you those reference points. And you know, it happens in a subtle way as you start to practice all the various different exercises and ways of building things. To build the skill of really hearing the notes, almost like in a perfect pitch way. And I'm not even going to get into the whole thing about if you can give somebody perfect pitch or not give them perfect pitch. It's been my experience that with the Listen and Recognize course that I've given people, that they can do quite well in identifying notes and understanding how the notes work. Is there something genetic about the people who can just hear a note and know that the C is a C or an F sharp is an F sharp? Maybe. But hey, it doesn't really matter. We can still develop a skill that will aid us in being able to do something very similar. And all of this information is here on the website. So I'm just kind of saying, if you have access to the website and you haven't been using that particular resource, check it out. Start so simple. And you don't have to start at the beginning. If you feel like that's too easy, you could start up a few lessons or more. You know, it goes on and on and on into developing all kinds of ways of hearing notes and chords and scales and patterns. So very important. All right, angle change, and I'm going to continue my musical tip by tying it on to all the information that I talked about last week. We talked about taking a scale pattern on the keyboard or a guitar, or ultimately just being able to vocalize it. Ooh, being able to vocalize that and starting to understand that it isn't just the notes, although those notes are fun because they're natural harmonies. Those are thirds, and both combinations of major and minor thirds. Helps you hear a little bit better harmony-wise. But also, I want you to take the vowels. Quick review of last time. Take vowels, oo, o, e, a. Take the vowels and then put consonants in front of them. Boo, bo, ba, be, ba, be. Boo, 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 boo. And also start to be more random with it, like this. Boo, 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 or boo, 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 boo. Any combination of bringing the consonant in and out, and not even staying on the same consonant sound. Do, boo, ba, be, die. Any combination of vowel consonant combinations as you're vocalizing through major and minor thirds diatonically, which means we're following the scale pattern and putting a harmony to it. But besides doing that, we're vocalizing up, and if you do it in 2 octaves, you have to vocalize all the way up through your bridges, which is what I talked about last week. And now I'm just trying to get you more into the idea of really hearing and vocalizing and singing with different combination of consonant vowel sounds. Want to know why? I'll tell you why. Change the angle again so we can talk about guitar, and as per last week, I also talked about the fact that we could take these chords and move them around. And again, all I'm really doing is taking a major scale and playing all of the chords in the key. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, back to major. If you're a guitar player or even a keyboard player who understands what that means. If you're a vocalist and you don't understand what that means, it's okay. I'm not trying to totally give you a guitar lesson here, but if you happen to be a vocalist who plays guitar, it's kind of nice to sort of bring these two things together. And this is a fun exercise to do it with because you're working with vocal harmony, you're working with consonant sounds, you're working at pulling your range up through your bridges. And so it's a great exercise. And it can be sung in more than one key. We can take I was relating it on the keyboard in the key of C, and I continue to play it right here on the guitar in the same key, but I could play it in G. Again, if you're a guitar player and understand this stuff, back to C here. And again, I think it's kind of fun to start to play these things and vocalize to them, like W's, right? La 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 la. L's. Lu 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 constantly moving the consonant and vowel combinations around in different ways. And to wrap this up, you know, I'm talking about singing the consonant sounds. They're partial words. What about words? Sing song, sing song, sing song, sing songs. That's pretty easy because they're both S sounds, and we're really doing you know, C, E, sing, sing, saw. It's kind of more like an E-ah. E-ah, 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 E-ah. Sing songs, oh, sing, 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 songs. Yes, we can take notes and start to put words to it. And the more we do that, and it may seem redundant, some of you may not see the power of this, but those that do will be better. And you'll know, like everything, if you just listen to it and somebody tells you to do it and you don't actually do it, you're not going to feel the physical experience. You're going to get something by getting the information in your head, but unless you actually do the exercise, you're not going to feel what it accomplishes for you. I know these things work because I've had to spend years working out problems for singers. And as I've worked out these problems for singers and developed exercises for them, I've seen what works and how it works, and I've seen what doesn't work. So these are exercises that I've used to solve problems, and now I'm presenting them to you as an exercise to practice, because you may not even know what the problem is, but if you practice and get good at doing this, you won't have the problem anyway. So it solves the problem. And I guess with that said, I think that about wraps up this music tip of the week, and I wish you all a nice rest of the weekend. Enjoy yourself out there. I know everybody gets back to work next week. Maybe some of us are working, like me right now. But as soon as I get done here, I'm out of here. I'm going to be running around on Black Friday just like everybody else, doing whatever it is that we do here. So, see you guys next week with all kinds of new fun things to talk to you about. So.